How's it going, people of YouTube? This is JW Brawlin, or Jake, again, and I'll be bringing you a video gameplay on the map Bakara. It's a ground war game of domination, like always, and as you can tell by the title, I'll be giving you some hints, tips, tricks, strategies, guidelines, keys, or whatever the hell else you might want to call it, that will help you get and maintain a high kill-death ratio. And also, these tips and guidelines will help you get better gameplays on a more consistent basis. So before I waste all the time talking about what I'm going to talk about, I figure I might as well just talk about it already. So the first tip is the most important of all, and that is to use the assault point streaks. And in this game, I believe I'm using the attack helicopter, which is a 7-point streak, the AC-130, which is a 12, and the Osprey chopper gunner, which is a 17. And those are kind of the higher end point streaks, but I'm kind of experienced, so I usually use those when I play ground war domination. So anyway, the reason it's important to use the assault point streaks rather than the support or the specialist is they help you rack up tons of kills in small amounts of time. And with the support and specialist point streaks, you don't get to use hardly any deadly rewards, and you're pretty much forced to get every kill with your gun or your equipment, and that's not too easy. The only non-assault point streaks that actually get you kills are the decoy airdrop trap, which sucks, the remote sentry, which sucks, and the stealth bomber, which can be okay, but it can't get you more than 9 kills, and you're hardly ever going to get 9 kills, so it's not that great. And the last one is the riot shield juggernaut, and you will do good with that, but it's kind of hard to use and people kind of stay away from you, so none of those are really effective for getting a lot of kills in a short amount of time. And if you're new to Call of Duty and you're not that good yet, I recommend using the Predator missile, which is a 5-point streak, the attack helicopter, which is a 7, and either the Pavlo or the AC-130, which is, they're both 12. And your Predator is an automatic kill every time, unless you really suck that bad that you can't hit somebody that's right in front of your missile. And a lot of times it's even a double kill, so it will usually get you to your attack helicopter. And your attack helicopter, if it stays around and they don't destroy it, it'll usually get you to your Pavlo or your AC-130, whichever one you decide to use. And if you're an experienced player and you've played the game for a while and you typically know how to play and you're somewhat good at Call of Duty, I recommend using the attack helicopter. Again, it's a 7, and the AC-130, which is a 12, and the Osprey chopper gunner, which is 17. And I don't think you should use a Pavlo in this combination instead of the AC, because you have to wait to call your Pavlo for your attack to leave, and you have to wait to call your Osprey for your Pavlo to leave. So you can kind of screw yourself by not being able to call any of them in if there's too much in the air and the game's close to being over. You'll end up ending the game with an Osprey in your pocket, so just use the AC-130 so you can call it right away. And if you can get to your attack helicopter, it'll usually get to your AC-130 like I said, and your AC-130 will always get you to your Osprey chopper gunner, even if they destroy it super fast. I mean, it's gonna get you 5 kills every time, and if you can get all 3 of these in one game, you will have a very good game, and you're gonna have a good kill death ratio, unless you decide to run out and die 50 times after you get it, but who's gonna do that? And my second tip for you guys is to play with a less aggressive play style. So if you're too aggressive and chase the enemy all over and leave yourself vulnerable and run through their spawns, you will die a lot, and the spawn system will screw you, and it will suck when you're 1 away from your point streak reward and you get killed from behind by the guy who you just barely killed. So I recommend being less aggressive and position yourself in an area of the map that you know well and are comfortable in. It's best if it's somewhere between the enemy spawn and the objective they are trying to get to. Now, you want to see a lot of people, and obviously you want to kill a lot of people and get to your point streak, so don't sit at the back of the spawn behind a dumpster where you will only see 3 or 4 people throughout the entire game, because that's not really going to get you anywhere, and everyone's going to hate on you for being a camper. And the third and final major tip is to pay attention to your heads-up display slash minimap slash UAV, whatever you want to call that thing in the top left of your screen. It's extremely helpful because if you know where your teammates are, you know where the enemy isn't at. So if all your teammates are behind you, you know that there's not going to be any enemies back there. And also pay attention to the skulls on the map, because if you see a skull, obviously your teammate just died there and there's obviously going to be enemies there or nearby. So keep those things in mind. And also, no matter what you play and no matter who you play with and no matter what game mode you're in, you will always have teammates that are using UAV. And whether it's 1, 2, or 3 people, there's going to be a UAV called on your team 3 to 4 times per game, and it's always good to know where the enemy is, so that's always helpful. And when there's UAV, obviously you need to pay attention to your top left of your screen, right? Another thing I noticed is if you have, I think, 4 UAVs going at the same time on your team, it actually turns into an advanced UAV. So you especially want to pay attention if one of those comes up, because it'll help you a lot. Now for a couple of the minor details that'll also help you maintain a high kill-death ratio are some things like using hardline and using a silencer on your gun and destroying enemy air support and just things like that. Like, obviously hardline's going to help because it requires 1 less kill for you to get to your point streaks, and also when you have it pro, every 2 assists counts as a point to your point streak. So as long as you're hitting someone with bullets, it's actually helping you, and it's actually probably the best perk in the game in my opinion, and it's extremely helpful. So use hardline. And the silencer is good because if you're using hardline, you don't have assassin, and with the silencer you'll stay off the map for pretty much the whole entire game unless they have a UAV. And that brings me to my last minor detail, and that is destroying enemy air support. I mean, whether it's a UAV, an attack helicopter, or an AC-130, just destroy it. I mean, it's really not that hard, and it's going to save you some deaths, and it's going to save your teammates some deaths, and it's going to stop the enemy from advancing their point streaks to getting to their next one. And also you get a mark towards your point streak if you can do it without dying, and that's always helpful. So just destroy stuff and help everyone out. Now, for those of you who are wondering, I'm using the ACR with a silencer and kick proficiency. I have Scavenger Pro as my first perk, Hardline Pro as my second perk, and Marksman as my third perk. And I don't know what my secondary is. I don't believe I use it this game, so it's not that important. So that's my class setup. That's what I used. Okie doke, that just about does it for this video, and I'd like to take what time is remaining to ask that you please subscribe, please like or even dislike if you didn't like the video, and give us some feedback. Leave in the comments why you liked it or why you didn't like it and what you think we could do better. And also, if you'd like to see us attempt any challenges you might have, leave those in the comments as well. And this channel is not just for me. We will be uploading gameplays from me, D-Man D, Beware D-Ware, Silent Slut Slayer, and PGR, Pale Goldenrod. That is Team Jerk, and this is our channel. We are excited to bring you new material as often as we can, and I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in my next video, YouTube. Bye!